really topics, but we're going to be looking at some questions that will lead us into those topics. And one of the topics is fraction, while another one of the topics, fraction, then another one is factorization, and lastly, the third one that the question involves is variation in mathematics. Variation. Though variation might be above your level, but it's not bad if you're introduced to it, just in case of anything, competition or anything coming up. So we're going to be looking at some questions right away. As soon as I need you to talk, we're going to talk, but I want you to try and focus and concentrate on every bit of the explanation. And as I'll begin to explain, anywhere you don't understand, once I finish, you ask me, how do you get this, how do you get that? Is that taking, Tracy? Tracy, is that taking?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I'll be sharing the screen right now as we'll be looking at random questions across 3 topics, or random questions involving fractions, then let's see, variations and factorization. So let's see how that works. So I begin to bring the question one by one. Okay, the first question is about variation, which probably might be something you are not used to. So I'm going to bring it up now. Tracy, are you there? Are you hearing me? Tracy, are you there? Okay, so I'm bringing up the first question now. So the first question is on variation, and let's see how that goes. So the question says, so Tracy, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. The question. Read the question if you can see the question. Read it and let's.
If y varies. If y varies
inversely.
What did you say?
Inversely.
Okay. If y varies inversely as square of x and y equals when x equals to 3, find the connecting formula.
Okay.
Y when x equals to 9. X when equals to 6.
So you are finding 3 things. Yes, you are finding 3 things. Number 1, you are finding the connecting formula between x and y. Number 2, you are finding y when x is 9. And number 3, you are finding x when y is 6. Is that taken?
Yes, sir.
Now, let me quickly show you how to do that, so that whenever you see any question on this, the moment they use this word vary, You are going to introduce what is called proportionality sign. What do I call it?
Proportionality.
Fine. So what are the two things you are considering? The first one is what? Y. And the second one is what?
X.
No. What did I circle?
Oh, square.
Yes. What is that?
Square.
Square of X. Say that.
I said square of X.
Very good. So what's the first thing there? The first thing is
Square
Y,
of
yes
X.
or no? No. The first thing is Y, yes or no?
Yes.
And the next thing is what? Square of X. So read the question again and let me.
Y varies
Inverse.
inversely as square of X and
Now
Y
listen.
equals.
Listen. You don't just continue to read. Read till where I circle. Now listen. Y varies inversely as square of X. That is what I want to interpret. Are you listening now?
Yes, sir.
Very good. So Y will be here. This symbol that you see in front of Y is for variation. It's for what?
Variation.
Variation. Very good. So Y varies. And when they talk about inverse, what do I call it?
Inverse.
Now, inverse means 1 over that thing that we are looking for. And what are we referring to here? We are referring to X squared. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Is that not the meaning of square of X?
Yes, sir.
That's the meaning. Very good. So, if you read from beginning, Y varies inversely as square of X. This is the interpretation. Are you getting that?
Yes, sir.
Now, this sign that you see here, is it equation sign?
No.
Aha! So we have to introduce equation sign. But the moment you introduce equation sign into variation, you introduce a constant alone. You do what?
Introduce a constant alone.
Very good. And the constant here is letter K. Is what?
Letter K.
Very good. Then it becomes Y equal to constant times what we have there. Are you following?
Yes, sir.
Now, that means Y equal to, what is K times 1?
K. 1K.
K. Then over what? X squared. Are you getting that now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good. So what did they give you as the value of Y?
4.
Then use 4 to replace Y in this equation. So you are going to say, instead of writing Y equal to K over X squared, you are just simply going to write, what is Y?
4.
4. You are going to write 4 equal to K because you don't know K. What is X?
3.
But you are not going to write 3. What are you going to write? 3 squared. Yes or no?
3.
And what is 3
Yes.
squared? 4 equal to K over, what is 3 squared?
6.
No, 3 squared. Square of 3.
So it's 9, sorry.
So 9.
9.
Then this is over 1. You cross multiply. You do what?
Cross multiply.
So 1 times K gives me K. Then 4 times 9 gives me what? 3.
4 times 9.
It gives me 36. Go and know your multiplication table, okay? So it gives me 36. Now, what is my K now?
Your K is 36.
K is 36. You put that K into this formula.
36, sir.
You put that K into this formula. So I'm going to replace K with what? 36. It will now become y equals to 36 over x squared. Is that taken? Is that clear? Can you hear me? Okay. Let me assume that you will let me know when you cannot hear me. Tracy, are you hearing me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Now, I said you replace the K in this formula with what? 36, because you found it to be 36. Now, this is the answer to the question A. Okay?
Okay, sir.
So he said you should find the connecting formula. Now, you're going to move ahead and solve the second one. What did the second one say you should do? Find what? Find what?
Oh, I'm not listening. So I'm not saying it.
I mean the second question. The second question. What are you supposed to find?
I'm not that place. I'm not seeing it.
Find
I'm only
y.
seeing when x equals.
Find y when x equals to 9. Okay?
Yes, thank you.
Find y when x equals to 9. Okay?
So I'm not still seeing it. Yes, sir.
But you can hear yes or no?
Yes, I can hear.
So find y when x equals to 9. Then this is the formula you are using now, because you already have your k. So y equals to 36 over what is x now? 9. So that would be 9 squared. That would be what?
9 squared.
9
I wanted to
squared.
ask what happened to the square.
So you now say y equals to 36 over 81. So you can cut that down by saying how many 9 is 36? 4. How many 9 is this? 1. 9. So y is 4 over 9. That's the answer to the second question. Now, do you think you can solve the third one? The third one says find x.
What's wrong with it?
The third one says find x when y equals to 6. So you go back to the formula. Y equals to 36 all over x squared. Then you are looking for x this time around. So x come up, y goes down. So x squared will now be 36 over y. Then that will be 36 over y is 6 this time around. So 36 over 6. And since this is what we have, then I have x squared equals to, what is 36 over 6? The answer is 6. Then x is square root of 6. This is not a perfect square, but if you press your calculator, it gives you the square root of 6 as 2.4. 2.449. So that's 2.4. So x equal to 2.4 there. And the other one that we found y to be 4 over 9, you can also still convert it to decimal. So 4 divided by 9 gives us 0.44. So just take note of that as I clear the screen and bring forth another question. Is that clear? Okay. Thank you. It's going to come online again now. So the next question that I'll be bringing up is factorization. That's number 2. Factorization, solving fraction, simplifying fraction. Let's see. So I clear the screen. Go to number 2. So here is the question for number 2. Number 2, you have to factorize AD plus BC plus AC plus BD. So that's 2a. Let's go ahead and solve that one now. So for 2a, I have AD plus BC plus AC plus BD. You observe that this has A and A, so you bring them together. AD plus AC, then BC and BD. So here now I have A as common, A into C plus C, or you say C plus B. Then here B is common, C plus D. So you can rearrange it. Since 2 plus 3 is the same as 3 plus 3, you can say this is C plus D. Go to B into C plus D. And once we have this, oh no, not equal to this time around, it's still plus. Still plus. So now, what is now common to both sides? C plus D. So you have C plus D common, and what is remaining is A plus B. So this is the final answer to that. While an attempt to solve the second one says if you solve 2 over m plus 1 over 2 equals to 1 over m. This time around you can bring the m inside and take the half outside. So this becomes 2 over m minus 1 over m equals to negative half, because that is changing sign there. Then you can find LCM on the left hand side, that is m. M in m is 1 times 2, that is 2. Then m in m again is 1, that is 2 minus 1 over m equals to negative half. So this time around you can try to 2 minus 1 is 1, so 1 over m equals to negative 1 over 2. Then you cross multiply. 1 times minus m is negative m, 2 times 1 is 2. I have m equals to negative 2. So that is the answer to the second one. And here now we can look at the third one and see how to solve that. You have to simplify 3 or C of C. We have to simplify 3x plus 2 over 3 minus x minus 1 over 4 equal to 5, 12. This time around, what you do on this left hand side is to find your LCM. So LCM of 3 and 4 is 12. So you put 12 as the LCM here, then 3 into 12 is 4. 4 into the bracket. So that is 4 into 3x plus 2. Then 4 into 12 is 3. That is minus 3x minus 1. Then equals to 5 over 12. So we can simplify the bracket first. 4 times 3 is 12. So I have 12x plus 8 minus 3x plus 3. Then this is over 12 equals to 5 over 12. Then I can say 12x minus 3x is 9x. 8 plus 3 is 11. 12 equals to 5 equals 12. Then I cross multiply 12 into this bracket, then 12 times 5. Or I can just multiply both sides by 12 and say times 12 here, times 12 here. So 12 cancels 12 on this side, 12 cancels 12 on this side. So what remains here is 9x plus 11 is 5. So I can say 9x plus 5 minus 11, and 9x, what is 5 minus 11, Tracy? Tracy, what is 5 minus 11? Yes, what do you call it? Minus 6. So this is over 9 over 9. 9 cancel 9, remaining x. That means x equals to minus 6 over 9, but that is not in the lowest form. I can now say x equals to how many 2 is in 3? How many 2 is in 6? That's 3. There are many. Oh, I can't use I'll use 3 because it's 3 that will divide it. So how many 3 is in 6? That's That means 3 is in 9, that is x equals to minus 3. Minus 2 over 3. Now, Tracy, I will explain everything over now. Please just follow. Are you with me? Are you hearing me? Okay, let me assume you are going to get to the video. Maybe the network is disturbing you from listening. I want to clear the screen now. You're going to get your video so that I can bring up the next question. So, are you there, Tracy? Okay. Let me round up this session and give you the link again so that we can continue from there. Okay. So I'll be sharing the screen with you. I'm sharing the screen with you right away so that we can go ahead with all the questions. So the other student is about to join now, and here comes the screen so that you can go ahead, and all the full explanation will be in the video later. So here is the third question, still on variation. I explained in the first aspect. It says variation. I explained something that when I'm talking about variation, you are talking about finding relationship between variables. And that sign of variation does not mean equation sign. So you have to put an equation sign in order to introduce a constant. And that's what I said the other time. So Tracy, I believe you can hear me now. Just put it down and let's continue. Here is number 3. Tracy, whatever you miss in number 1 and 2, you're going to get the explanation through the video. So here's the solution. Let's be very directly as now. The instruction says P varies directly as Q. This is how to write it down. The P varies directly as Q. In the previous one that we saw, it didn't give us direct variation. It said very inversely. That's why we put 1 over whatever there. But this time around, it just said P varies directly as Q. So we don't need any 1 over. The next thing we need to do now is introduce our constant by putting an equation sign. So I said P equals to constant Q. Hold on. Tracy, when I need you to talk, you're going to talk, just listen. So P equals to constant Q. Once P is constant Q, the question says find the relationship between P and Q. I bet this is the relationship, and that is the answer to the first one. The relationship between P and Q is that P equals to constant Q. Now, going by the second one, it said if Q is 20, P is 4. So find Q when P is 1. Okay, Q has been given to be 20, P has been given to be 4. That means 4 equals to constant 20. That is 4 equals to 20k. 20k. Here I'm finding the constant. So divide both sides by 20, divide this by 20, divide this by 20. 20 cancels 20 here. Then I have constant to be 1 over 5. Where did I get 1 over 5 from? 4 here 1, 4 here 5. So my constant is 1 over 5. I can now put this 1 over 5 back into this equation, into the first equation rather. So what is now the first equation? First equation is P equals to constant Q. And what is my constant? 1 over 5. So I have to remove the K now and put 1 over 5 instead of K. Tracy, I said when I need you to talk, I'm going to ask the question directly that you just concentrate. Is that taking? Very good. Now,
Yes.
now what I have here is I want to put P is not equal to Q but constant Q. So I have 1 over 5. That means 1 over 5 times Q. Again, I can say this is P. Let me try and read. P equals to Q times 1 is Q, 10 over 5. So if it is the relationship, then it says find Q when P equals to 1. So I'm going to replace P with 1. So that means 1 equals to Q over 5. In In this regard, I'm looking for Q. Just cross multiply. 5 times 1 is 5. 1 times Q is Q. That means Q equals to 5 when P equals to 1. Now, the second part, I say if Q is 24, when P equals to 4, find Q when P is 30. So that means we're using another constant this time around. We're not using the same constant. So, for the third part, which is C, we said Q is 24 when P is...
minus 24.
Okay, minus 24 when P is 4. Now, this time around, what do you have? You have the relationship between P equals to KQ. And we have P equals to KQ. Fine. P equals to KQ. Then P now is 4. 4 equals to your minus 24K. So, minus 24K. Here now, I'm finding K. That is over minus 24 over minus 24. So, this cancel out. Then I have K to be 4. Minus 4 over 64, which is 4 here, 1, 4 here. So I can say K equals to minus 1 over 6. So if K, the new K that I'm using here is minus 1 over 6, I will put it back into this particular relationship. That means C equals to negative Q over 6. 1 times Q is Q. That's why I didn't put that again. Then that is what I'm going to use to find. That's what I'm going to use to find the next one, which is find Q when P is 30. This time around, P is 30, so you just say 30 equal to negative Q all over 6. This time around, what is, 1 times negative Q is negative Q, then 6 times 30 is what? 180. That means Q is minus 180. Q is minus 180. So just take note of that as I bring up the next question. Then probably by tomorrow, we're going to have the video today. So the next question, number 4. Yes, you said what?
I said tomorrow.
Yes, tomorrow. Now the next question.
We are doing lesson.
I said I will send it to you tomorrow. Are you afraid? Careful. Now, I'm clearing the screen, so don't bother about the voice number. When you watch the video tomorrow, you'll be able to. So, number 4 now. That's to simplify this particular one. Okay. So, let's just focus on it and be sure that you get the explanation. Simplify 1 over 5 into 2x minus this. So, let's see. 1 over 5 into 2x minus 1 plus 1 over 7. 1 over 7 is 1 minus 2x, to simplify this. When you say 1/5 of something, it means that thing over 5. So what do I have here? I have 2x minus 1 all over 5, then plus the other one, 1 minus 2x all over 7. You find your LCM, 35. How many 5 is in 35? That's 7. 7 is going to multiply this one above. So that is 7 into 2x minus 1. 7 into 2x minus 1, then plus 7 here, 5. 5 into 1 minus 2x. So with this, I can open the bracket first. So I have 7 times 2 is 14. That's 14x minus 7 plus 5 minus 10x all over 35. So with this, what do I have? I have 14x minus 10x, and that is 4x. Then I have minus 7 plus 5. What is minus 7 plus 5?
Minus 7 plus 5.
Yes.
That's
what? No. That's what?
2.
No. Minus. So minus 2 now over 35. This is your answer because there is no number that can divide the 3 at a go. So you leave it like this. It's your answer. Then the second part, second one, just make sure you focus on it because it's better to understand than to just write. Second one says you should solve. Know the difference today. When they ask you to simplify, you are not finding a particular number. Did we get a particular number as our answer for this?
No, sir.
But when they say solve, that means you are getting the value of that x. So just take note. Now, we have to solve in the second one. B. Solve 4x minus 3 over 5 then minus 5x minus 3 over 8 equal to 1. So, and another difference is that the first one is not an equation, it's an expression. While the second one is an equation because that's equation sign. So, n you can solve. Now, first step is to find LCM. LCM is 8 and 5, that's 40. So how many 5 is 40? That's 8. 8 into bracket, so 8 into 4x and 3. And how many 8 here is 5? So minus 5 into 5x and 3. So equal to 1. Then you use your 8 to open the bracket. That is 40x, no, not 40, 32, right?
Yes,
8 times 4 is 32. I have x minus 24, then minus 25x plus 15. Why plus? Because of minus times minus, which is plus. So that is for 40 equals 1. Now 32x minus 25x. So what is 32 minus 25? That should be what? That's 7, right? 7x. Then minus 24 plus 15. Minus 24 plus 15 gives us what?
Minus 24 plus 15.
Plus 15, yes.
That's plus 1.
No, that's minus 9.
Minus 1.
Minus 9. 24 and 15. Now?
Oh, 15. I think it's 5.
Now, this is over 40. 1 over 1. Then you can cross multiply and say 1 times this is 1 times. So you have 7x minus 9 equal to 40. Then 7x equal to 49. While x equal to 7. Where did I get 49 from? That's 40 plus 9. And where did I get 7 from? That's 49 divided by 7. So, get rid of that as I bring forward the last question. 5. So I'm clearing the screen now. Bring it. And number 5 says it's also on variation. Number 5 is on variation. Z varies directly as B and inversely as the square of Q. Now, this is more like what you have solved before, but now being combined together. And let's see how it goes. So again, it varies directly as B and varies inversely as Q squared. It says let's put the equation sign first. So Z equals constant T over. This time around, I'm a constant and say Z is yours. I'm just putting the value. B is 3, Q is 4, Z is 3. So I have 3 equal to T, which is also 3. So 3 constant all over Q squared. And our Q is 4. That's 4 squared. So I now have this as 3 equals to 3k over 16. Then I can, cross multiply. I have 3 times 16, that is 48, equals to 3k. Then I divide both sides by 3, divide both sides by 3. So my constant here now, constant here is going to be, what is 48 over 3? That is 16.
That's 16.
So k equals to 16. Once k is 16, To find the relation, I put K back here. So that means Z equals to 16P all over Q squared. That's the relation. I've solved the first question. And the second one says find Z when P is this and Q is that. So Z equals to 16 times P. What's P now? 6. And what is Q now? 8. That is 8 squared.
Yeah.
So this time around, I can say Z equals to 16 times 6 all over 8 times 8. 8 here 1, 8 here 2. And 2 here 1, here 4. So I have 6 over 4, here 2, here 2. So Z equals to 3. And that is 1.5. Finally, Z equals to 1 over 1. So I believe that's fair enough.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that is where we're going to be running this aspect. And I want to have an English class with them probably. Join us if you care. I will send you the link also. Okay?
Okay, sir.
All
Yes,
right.
sir.
You have a nice time. So I'll be sharing the screen with you now as we study further into details about pronouns. So let's see. So the topic we have for today is pronoun. Pronoun. Okay. So if you're asked what's a pronoun, what are you likely to say?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
You asked the question, but I didn't know.
Yes. If you're asked what's a pronoun, so what are you likely to say?
Pronoun is a word used to replace noun.
Okay, that's not wrong. Okay, so let's look further in. Yeah, pronoun are words you substitute for other nouns when your reader or listener already know which noun you are referring to. For example, you might say, I have a dog. It's brown and white. There is no need to clarify that you're describing your dog in a certain sentence because you already mentioned the dog in the first sentence. But following up, I have a dog with brown and white is grammatically incorrect. So with the pronoun is or it, depending on how you address the dog, you turn the phrase brown and white into a full sentence. Is brown and white. So that is the essence of pronoun. So, but the pronoun does a whole lot more than just turning a phrase into sentences. So we're going to look at other things that pronoun does. So here we say pronoun does a lot more than just turning phrase into sentence. They provide context, make your sentence meaning clearer and shape how we perceive it and things. So a pronoun turns phrases into sentences, and also it makes sentences become clearer and it's shaping how we perceive different things. Take note of that. So what's a pronoun? The pronouns are short words we swap for other nouns to make our writing and speech faster and more varied. We're going to be looking at some few examples or the main examples of pronouns that we have. So let's see. Are you saying something?
No, sir.
Okay. I want to clear the screen now. Now, what I have here. So what's a pronoun? Pronoun are short words we swap for in or other nouns to make our writing and speech faster and more varied. So there are words like they, I, you, themselves, each other, and so on. So we're going to be looking at some other categories as we move. Now, pronouns make up small subcategory of nouns. The distinguishing characteristic of pronoun is that they can be substituted for other nouns. Let me put that up here. So here we go. Pronoun make small subcategory of nouns. And the distinguishing characteristics of pronoun is that they can be substituted for in other nouns. For instance, if you're telling a story about your sister Sarah, the story will begin to sound repetitive if you keep repeating Sarah again and again. So you keep saying Sarah over and over again. Sarah has always loved fashion. Sarah announced that Sarah wants fashion. That becomes something that is, it's not that it's not correct, but it becomes something too boring and make your writing sort of informal. So here now we say you try to mix up by saying, Sarah, my sister, or whatever. So you can say my sister, but then it sounds like you're referring to two different people. If you mention Sarah first and you mention my sister, the consonant is Sarah has always loved fashion. My sister announced that Sarah wants to go to fashion. So it still doesn't make complete sense how the more meaning that we want from it until we put in the pronoun. So instead, you can use the pronoun she to refer, or she and her to refer to Sarah. So let's see how that in there. Okay. So instead of changing, just looking for words to, they can use pronoun she and her to refer to Sarah. So Sarah has always loved fashion. She announced that she wants to go to fashion school. With that, she has made the story to be much more meaningful. That is what we'll be looking at. The other girl is trying to join now. Let me see if she gets on this explanation before I clear the screen and we'll move on. So Tracy, are you there now? Can you hear me? Tracy, I'm waiting to hear from you. Tracy, can you hear me now? Okay, I'm going to clear the screen now. Let me assume it's the network that's not making hard to go along. So furthermore, you can replace both proper and common nouns with pronouns. Certain pronouns have specific rules about when they can be used, such as how it should never be used to refer to human beings. We'll explain all this below as see. So the first one we're looking at here is personal pronoun. Personal pronoun, and let me see in 2020 that. So the first category of pronoun here is personal pronoun. Still trying to explain. So, like I mentioned, I said the first one is personal pronoun. So let's see what that contains. When you think of pronouns, you most likely think of personal pronouns. Personal pronouns are pronouns that refer to specific individuals or group. And personal pronoun includes I or me, she or her, he or him, they or them, we, us, you. So these are examples. The nouns we are referring to that we're going to bring up that one now. I'm going to use one here. So see. Now here, the new student will arrive. New student will arrive today. They will need sitting, assignment, and the name tag. Okay, new student will arrive today. The new student will arrive today. If I underline this, let me put the line up. The noun here is the new students. And the pronoun that is replacing them is they. Is that taken?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Then the next one, my family loves nachos. We can make them every Friday for movie night. Now, my family, which include myself, is the noun there. Then nacho is also a noun.
How?
Nacho is the name of something that is eaten. It's the name of a snack. Okay? Okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes, so we is replacing my family, then make them. The them is replacing what?
Other people.
No. My family loves nachos. We can make them every Friday for movie night. So, my family is being replaced with we, W-E. While nachos, which is a snack, is being replaced with what? Them. We can make the snack every Friday for movie night. Is that taken?
Yes, sir.
Now, in the second example sentence, notice that nachos a noun and them pronoun aren't emphasized. So that's because in this sentence, them isn't a personal pronoun, and because it isn't replacing a proper noun, but rather we is a personal pronoun. So what we're to take note here is that we is a personal pronoun, but them is not a personal pronoun. Just take note of that. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes. And the next one we want to talk about is antecedent. We'll look at how that works. So for antecedents, it says, remember how we mentioned that in order to use a pronoun, you need to introduce the noun first. That is, the noun must be mentioned before we start making use of the pronoun. So that noun has a name, and that name is an antecedent. Antecedents are necessary because pronouns are versatile. Think about it. It that we mention here can refer to a bike, a tree, a car, or a city, and we just use it to refer to something else entirely. So pronouns are versatile. This is talking about pronouns versatility, using the word it to refer to just almost anything. That is why the noun has to be specified before. There should be an antecedent that is directing us to which particular pronoun about. So let's look at a few examples here. So here, okay, she's trying to join again. So take a look at these examples to see how antecedents and pronouns work together. My family tests my patience, but I love them. The sign was too far for the judge to read it. Janita said she's almost finished with the application. Now, can you look for the antecedents in these sentences?
Yes, sir.
Yes, what's the antecedent first sentence?
My family.
My family. What about the second one?
This sign.
The sign. Then what about the third one? Danita. Okay, now which pronoun is replacing my family there? In that first sentence, them. Then which pronoun is replacing the sign? It. And what about Danita? What is replacing Danita? She. Okay, Ejiro and Tracy, welcome to the class. We are discussing about pronouns, and I want to believe you. Okay, I think the network just cut off now. So when you come back, you ask questions. Okay, so that about that. Let me bring up further explanation before we now go into other type of pronoun per se. So here, antecedents aren't necessary when the reader or listener knows who or what you are discussing. Generally, you don't need an antecedent for pronouns like I, you, we, our, and me, and these are personal pronouns. But because there are no absolutes, in grammar, sometimes you do need antecedents in this kind of situation, like when you are giving a speech where you introduce yourself and your credentials before discussing your achievements. So in that case, you are forced to mention your name, or you begin to say, I did this, I did that. There are also circumstances where you might not introduce the noun first and instead reveal it after using only pronouns to refer to your subject. You might do this for dramatic or poetic effect in a piece of writing. For example, if you are writing an essay, you want to bring out the beauty of your topic, and just go ahead and follow this format. So the next type of pronoun we're looking at is relative pronoun. Relative pronoun. We have looked at personal pronoun. Here we are looking at what? Relative pronoun. Relative pronoun. Okay. So about relative pronoun. About relative pronoun. Relative pronoun is another class of pronoun. They connect relative clauses to independent clauses. Often, they introduce additional information about something mentioned in the sentence. So relative pronouns, you see, it's trying to join again. Relative pronouns include these, like that, what, which, who, whom. So traditionally, we use who to refer to people, while which and that refer to animals or things. Here are a few examples of the way we can use relative pronouns. The woman who called earlier didn't leave a message. So it would be wrong to say the woman that called earlier or the woman which called earlier. Take note of that. Who refers to what? People. While which and that refers to things or animals. All the dogs that got adopted today will be loved. My car, which is nearly 20 years old, still runs very well. You take note of that?
Yes, sir.
So that you know when to use that, which, or whom, or whatever. So, we're going to continue now. Who versus whom now? Subject and object. Let us look at how to know when to use who or whom. Okay, wait a minute. So now using who versus whom. I'm going to clear the screen, then you put that details off there. Who versus whom. Subject and object pronouns. What is subject? What's an object in this sentence? Anyway.
Subject is like the person.
Mm-hmm.
The object is what the person is referring to.
Or what the person has done.
Yes.
Okay. Now, knowing when to use who and when to use whom trips a lot of writers up. Difference is actually pretty simple. Who is for the subject of a sentence and whom is for the object of the sentence of a verb or preposition. Now here's a quick example. Who mailed this package? We're talking about the person that performed the action, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So, and that is the subject of the sentence. To whom was this package sent? We're talking about the person that the action was done to, yes or no?
Yes.
So who mailed this package? Then to whom was this package sent? So with that, we have been able to differentiate on how to use who or whom and whom. Now see the difference. Who is a subject, that is, we use who to refer to the subject of a sentence, and it's in the same category as all these personal pronouns like I, he, she, they, and we. While whom is an object pronoun, which is put in the same category as me, him, her, them, us. Are you taking note of that?
Yes, sir.
So, now say an easy way to determine whether you should use who or whom in a sentence is to answer the question by substituting another pronoun. So we're going to look for the details now. So when you are trying to answer the question by substituting another pronoun, then we look into, let's see, let me bring that one up here now. Okay, so with the new pronoun that you substitute, you determine if the sentence still makes sense. For example, he mailed his package. The package was sent to him. Okay, figuring out when to use whom can be more difficult than knowing when to use who, because it typically comes before the sentence verb. Notice how the example object pronouns a sentence change more dramatically than the subject pronoun sentence. Now, what we're trying to say here is who is for the subject, while who is for the receiver of the action. Is that taken?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Who is for the subject, while whom is for the receiver of the action. So I'm going to continue as we move on. Further example of pronouns. Further example of pronouns. So let me see. The next one we want to have a demonstrative pronoun. Demonstrative pronoun. So let me try to put that up there. So here is it, demonstrative. The pronouns such as this, that, this, singular this and plural this. Such pronouns are demonstrative pronouns. They take the place of a noun or noun phrase that has already been mentioned or is clear through the context, either in written or verbal communication. I can't say, give me that book until I have mentioned a particular book to you before. So, this is used for singular items, that is THIS is used for singular items that are nearby, while this, plural, is used for multiple items that are nearby. Then, the distance can be physical or metaphorical. When you're talking about these politicians, these politicians that we're talking about, we are not we are talking about them because they are the politicians of our day. But if I'm talking about politicians before we were born, we would say those politicians then. Those politicians then. So, talking in terms of distance there, we are using metaphor. So we are being metaphorical. But if we're talking about physical, we're talking about physical distance. So take a look at these examples and let's see. Here is a letter with no return address. Who could have sent it? With that, you can see that the letter is close to you, you're holding it. That's why you are wondering that there's no return address and you're like, who could have sent the letter to you? And the next one, if you think gardenias, think gardenias smell nice, try smelling this. Maybe you are holding something. Then that is used. That is used for singular items that are far away, while those is used for multiple items that are far away. So we are considering this and this, that and those. Again, the distance that we are considering can be physical or metaphorical. So here are a few examples. A house like that is a nice place to live. Maybe we are describing a particular kind of house. So the distance there might be metaphorical. Some new flavors of soda came in last week. Why don't we try some of those? We are still referring to those soda. Now, those aren't swans, they are geese, like you are pointing to them directly. Pointing to them because they are far away from you. So that's a demonstrative pronoun. That is a demonstrative pronoun. So now let me ask you something. So we'll continue right now. The next one that I want to look at is indefinite pronoun. Indefinite pronoun. So let me get the details. Indefinite pronoun. So for indefinite pronouns, this is what we have here. From the word indefinite. Indefinite pronouns are used when you need to refer to a person or thing that doesn't need to be specifically identified. Some common indefinite pronouns are one, other, none, some, anybody, everybody, and no one. Here are a few examples of indefinite pronouns in sentence. Everybody was late because of the traffic jam. Now, you do not refer to Mr. A or Mrs. B or Mrs. C was late. So everybody was late. So everybody is a pronoun that's indefinite, that is used to refer to people in general. It matters more to some than others. Now, can you figure out the pronouns in that sense?
Others.
Another one.
It.
Another one.
Some.
Yes, figure out and yes, it matters more to some than others. So we have it, we have some, we have others.
Others.
So yes. So in this case, we are not being specific about the nouns that we are referring to, but it's just in general. Nobody knows the trouble I've seen. Yes, what are the pronouns then?
Nobody.
Just nobody. Okay, when indefinite pronouns function as subject in sentence or clause, they usually take singular verbs. So let's take that. Before we round up, I'm going to be looking at another type of pronoun, which is reflexive pronoun. Reflexive pronoun, that's where we're going to come next lesson. Reflexive pronoun. So for reflexive pronoun, here's what I have here. Now, reflexive pronoun are used. They are used to reflect, they like, let's say, they hand in self or selves. Yes, hand in self or self. So, like myself is my, and myself, yourself, himself, ourself, itself, oneself, ourself, yourselves, themselves. So, use the reflexive pronoun when both subject and object of the verb refer to the same person. So, both the subject and object are referring to the same person. That's when we use reflexive pronoun, or it refers to the same thing. So here are a few examples. She checked herself out. She checked herself out of the hotel 30 minutes before checkout time. She checked herself out of the hotel 30 minutes before checkout time. So The person that is the object and that is the subject is still the object. You understand?
Yes, sir.
That's why the ourself, which is the reflexive pronoun, is showing forth there. Take care of yourselves. You know, this one you are referring to a lot of people. You are telling them to take care of themselves. So take care of yourselves. Then using myself, when you mean me, is a common mistake writers and speakers make. So reflexive pronouns are only correct when the subject and object of the sentence are
The same.
Is that taken?
Yes, sir.
That is the starting up for today, and the video is going to be processed and sent to you as tomorrow. Okay?
Okay, sir.
Okay, so do have a nice time and enjoy the best part of the holiday.
Thank you, sir.
Bye for now.
First loved us, then he wants to reciprocate the love to all the leaders, to everybody.